Hey FitBuzz Nation, we've got something super important to talk about today. Dementia is a word we hear a lot, but do you really know what it is? Dementia is when people have trouble with their memory, thinking, and even their feelings. But guess what? Not every memory slip means someone has dementia. Sometimes people just forget things. Today, we're diving deep into what dementia really is and how we can look out for it. So buckle up and let's dive right in. The first sign to keep an eye out for is trouble with organizing and planning. Let's break this down. You know those moments when you're trying to plan a super fun weekend with your friends, perhaps deciding whether to go to the movies, hang out at the park, or maybe have a sleepover. But then you just can't seem to get your thoughts together and it's like your brain is in a fog. Or think about when you're trying to make your favorite snack, maybe a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You've done it a million times before, but suddenly you stand in your kitchen, staring at the bread and just can't remember the next step. Should the peanut butter go first or the jelly? On which slice of bread? And hey, where did you keep the knife again? It's like when you're playing a video game and there's a glitch that keeps your character from moving forward even though you know the way. But here's the thing to remember. We all have those days when our brains seem to go on a mini vacation. Maybe you didn't sleep well, or you're thinking about that math test coming up. It's normal to have these moments occasionally. The real concern is when it becomes a regular pattern, when those simple tasks that you've done over and over again start to feel like huge mountains you can't climb, and your brain feels lost in a maze more often than not. That's when it might be more than just a random forgetful moment. Transitioning from struggles with organizing and planning, there's another key sign we need to chat about. Now think about your best friend for a moment. Imagine you know how they act, right? Their laughs, their usual way of speaking, and even the small habits they have. Now imagine one day they suddenly act super different. It's not the kind of difference where they're a bit grumpy because they skipped their morning cereal. No, it's deeper than that. We're diving into the realm of personality changes. Personality is like the unique flavor each one of us brings to the world, our individual stamp. It's our usual way of being, the habits we have, the way we react to things, and even how we handle challenges. So, when someone's personality takes a big turn, it's like their unique flavor has changed. Maybe your always bubbly and chatty aunt is now unusually quiet at family dinners, or your cheerful neighbor doesn't greet you with their usual sunny smile anymore. Instead, they might look downcast and don't talk much. These changes are more than just having an off day or feeling blue momentarily. It's like a thick cloud overshadowing their usual self, and it sticks around. It's so crucial for us to pay attention to these changes, not just brush them off as random mood swings. If someone you know is acting in a way that's really, really different from their norm, it could be a sign that there's something going on beneath the surface. And remember, it's all about understanding and supporting each other, so keeping an eye out for these shifts is a way of showing we care. From unexpected shifts in someone's mood to yet another surprising sign, let's dive deep into a topic you might not immediately link to brain health. Constipation. When you hear that word, you're probably thinking about stomach issues and not really about the brain, right? But here's the thing. FitBuzz Nation, our digestive system, particularly our gut, is incredibly fascinating and more closely linked to our brains than we might realize. Imagine for a moment that our gut is like a complex computer system, buzzing with activity and constantly sending and receiving messages. Now, when this system gets clogged up, yes, I'm talking about constipation, it can cause some serious miscommunications, just like how a computer might slow down if it gets overloaded with too much information. But why is the gut so special? Because it's often referred to as our second brain. Sounds wild, doesn't it? But it's true. Our gut has a vast network of nerves and it's constantly communicating with the big brain upstairs in our heads. They're like two close friends texting back and forth. So When the gut is feeling all clogged up and unhappy, it might send a message to our brain, causing us to feel not so great too. It's not just about the physical discomfort of being constipated. That traffic jam in our gut can have ripple effects that reach our mood and even our thoughts. In other words, a happy gut can play a role in a happier, clearer thinking brain. So, the next time you think of tummy troubles, remember it's not just about the belly. It's also about the brain, and keeping things moving smoothly down there can have a big impact on how we feel overall. All right, let's move from the topic of constipation and how it strangely connects to our brains to another surprising sign: issues with our senses. Now, I'm not talking about the times when you squint at tiny words in a book and think, maybe I need glasses. Or when you find yourself reaching for the remote to make the TV a tad louder during your favorite show. This is deeper and quite scientific, in fact. Every one of us has 5 primary senses: sight, sound, touch, taste, and smell. These senses are like the special tools our bodies use to understand and interact with the world around us. Now imagine that one day you walk into your house, and the aroma of freshly baked cookies doesn't make you feel all warm and fuzzy because, well, you can't really detect it. Or imagine biting into a slice of pizza, and it tastes more like cardboard than cheese and tomato. Sounds odd, right? These are instances of not recognizing familiar sensations. Our senses are deeply connected to our brain. When we smell a flower, the information goes to our brain, which then tells us, hey, that's a rose. But sometimes, when there are issues within our brain, like with dementia, this connection might get a little shaky. It's like the communication lines between our senses and our brain get tangled up. So, when someone doesn't recognize the scent of their favorite perfume, the taste of their cherished dish, or even the soothing sound of a familiar lullaby, it might be more than just a forgetful moment. It's a potential signal that the brain isn't processing things like it used to. It's incredible how everything in our body is connected, right? That's why it's vital to be aware of these subtle signs and to always look out for our well-being and that of our loved ones. As we journey from the realm of language mishaps, let's steer our discussion towards something most of us might have experienced once or twice: getting lost. But wait, before you remember that time you couldn't find your car in a massive parking lot, we're not just talking about those minor hiccups. Picture this. You're in a new town, and even with a map or GPS in hand, you just can't figure out where you are or how to get to your destination. Every turn feels like a puzzle, and streets you've just passed look entirely unfamiliar moments later. This isn't about a quick memory lapse or just a bad sense of direction. This is about the brain having real difficulty processing new environments and spatial information. Scientifically speaking, our brain has this amazing area called the hippocampus. Think of it as your internal GPS. It plays a huge role in memory, especially in understanding and remembering locations. In conditions like dementia, the hippocampus may not work as efficiently as it should, making it incredibly hard for people to navigate unfamiliar terrains. The result? Even with a clear map or directions, they might feel overwhelmed or completely lost. It's like trying to read a foreign language you've never studied, and all the signs around you just don't make sense. Understanding this can help us empathize with someone who constantly struggles in new places, even if it seems straightforward to us. It's essential to remember that it's not their fault, and patience, understanding, and assistance can make all the difference. So next time you're with someone and they seem lost even with clear directions, take a moment to help them out and show some compassion. It could mean the world to them. Let's dive deep into 7 amazing things you can do to support your brain, especially for those dealing with dementia or wanting to boost their brain health. Vitamin B. 1. Let's start our journey with vitamin B. 1. Think of it as the ultimate brain-boosting superhero from the world of vitamins. Picture your favorite foods. Do they include things like nutritional yeast? If so, you're in luck, because that's a fantastic source of vitamin B1. Imagine a situation where you've had a day of indulging, perhaps eating a bit too much sugar or maybe enjoying one too many fizzy drinks. In these times, your brain is craving more of this incredible vitamin. So, ensuring a good intake of vitamin B, one can be like giving your brain its favorite toy to play with. Transitioning from our superhero vitamin, let's talk about something incredibly essential: fixing the gut. Remember that time we spoke about our gut acting like a second brain? This isn't just a fun fact, it's a reality. The gut needs its share of happiness and attention. Imagine only eating the same salad every day. Boring, right? Our gut feels the same way. By introducing a colorful variety of vegetables, you're essentially throwing a party for your gut. Also, here's an interesting tidbit. Sometimes, letting our gut take a short break from constant eating, a process known as fasting, can be like sending it to a spa day, refreshed, rejuvenated, and stronger. Swinging from the importance of gut health, we land on eat sprouts. Visualize tiny baby plants, specifically broccoli sprouts. Small in size, yes, but imagine them wearing superhero capes because they are bursting with benefits for our brain. Just a handful can be like giving your brain a power-packed gift. It's like feeding your brain mini energy bombs that keep it active and sharp. Next on our list, let's fuel up with ketones. Imagine your brain as a car, and sometimes, like all cars, it runs low on energy or feels sluggish. That's where ketones come in. They're like premium fuel, ensuring your brain car runs smoothly. Products like MCT oil are like the gas stations filled with this premium fuel, ready to get your brain zooming on the highway of health. As we zoom forward, we encounter the magical ginkgo biloba. No, we haven't shifted gears into a fantasy realm, even though the name sounds whimsical. Ginkgo biloba, especially a component known as EGB 761, is like a secret potion for the brain. Imagine having a plant that's like a shield, defending and supporting brain health. That's the role of this unique plant. From the shield of ginkgo, let's move to the powerful lion's mane mushroom. First off, don't be fooled by the name. We aren't talking about the majestic mane of a lion in the wild. This is a unique mushroom that looks like a cascade of white tendrils. Consuming it is like giving your brain an extra dose of intelligence juice. It's been believed to amplify cognitive functions, ensuring the brain runs at peak performance. Lastly, as we wrap up our list, let's dive into other good stuff. Imagine a treasure chest filled with brain-loving gems, fatty fish like salmon swimming around, a warm sunbeam ensuring you get your vitamin D, the adrenaline rush of a good exercise session, and the peace of a sound sleep. All these elements are like the ultimate toolkit for a vibrant and healthy brain. But just as a toolkit also has some tools you avoid using on delicate tasks, remember to dodge things that might harm your brain. Limit those sugary treats or artificial foods, ensuring your brain remains in tip-top shape. All right, FitBuzz Nation, that's a wrap on today's deep dive into dementia. Remember, these signs and tips are just a guide. Everyone is different, but knowing more always helps. If you found this useful and think others might too, please like, share, and subscribe to FitBuzz for more enlightening health buzz. We want to make sure everyone gets the chance to keep their brain happy and healthy.